Mr. Secretary, as the transcript, the leaked transcript, as you referred to it, says, did the President Biden work with the coward exiled president of Afghanistan to manipulate the intelligence about the Taliban?
What the president said to then President Ghani in private is exactly what he said in public, that the issue was not whether Afghanistan had the capacity to withstand the Taliban, it's whether it had the will and the plan to do so. He urged him
the transcript is a lie.
It's
false.
That plan.
It's incorrect.
He did not work to bring people together in unity.
You're saying it's false, it's a lie, it's incorrect. He did not work to tamp down the intelligence on the Taliban.
Absolutely not.
So the transcript is incorrect. That's your testimony today.
The intelligence that we had, we've already discussed at some length about what the assessments were of the Taliban and its capacity to take over the country.
I think that everybody looking for an explanation about what happened and how everybody got it so wrong, how your administration got it so wrong, needs to look at that as the most likely explanation, asking the president to manipulate the intelligence of what was actually going on with the Taliban. And I'm going to tell you the 13 families that deserve most to really hear the honest answers on that. It's these families. Marine Lance Corporal Kareem Nakui. His family deserves to truly know that. Marine Corporal Dagan Page. His family truly deserves to know if that's why they are missing their son because intelligence was manipulated. Marine Lance Corporal Riley McCullum, 20, wife expecting their first child. Sister said he was going to be the best dad ever. They deserve to know if that's what happened and that's why everything went so wrong. Marine Sergeant Nicole Gee, 23 years old. You can see her there holding a young child. Her family deserves to know if that's why everything went so wrong, because that intelligence was manipulated. Marine Lance Corporal David Espinoza, just 20 years old. Family deserves to know if that's why everything went so wrong is because the intelligence was manipulated. Marine Corporal Humberto Sanchez, just 22 years old. Mother said, "My kid was a hero." That's what was said. That's what his mother said. Deserves to know if that's why everything went so wrong, because the intelligence got manipulated. Marine Lance Corporal Jared Smits, just 20 years old. Family deserves to know if that's why everything went so wrong. Marine Corporal Hunter Lopez, just 22, son of 2 sheriffs, plan to follow in their footsteps. Their family deserves to know if that's why everything went so wrong is because you all worked to manipulate the intelligence of what was going on the ground there. Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Darren Hoover. His family said, "I love you, son. Check in on us. We will try to make you proud." They deserve to know if that's what happened, if that's how everything went so wrong in Afghanistan. Marine Corps Sergeant Johanny Rosario Picardo. Family deserves to know if that's why everything went so wrong, because you all worked to manipulate the intelligence of what was going on with the Taliban. Marine Lance Corporal Dylan Marola, just 20. Family said he always had a smile on his face, was the kindest person. They deserve to know if that's why everything went so wrong, because you all manipulated intelligence. Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Canals. The ultimate honor he could give was to give back to his country. He would not be sorry. He would not regret it. That's what his family said. They deserve to know if you manipulated intelligence, if President Biden manipulated intelligence, and that's what led to everything going so wrong. Navy Corpsman Maxton Soviak, just 22. His family deserves to know if that's why everything went so wrong. We deserve hearings on what's going on with that leaked transcript. We deserve to know why there are others that remain in Afghanistan. Mark Frericks, Navy veteran, disappeared in Coast Province January 30 of 2020. We deserve to know what's going on with his release. These are things that have to be answered for. I do not believe whatsoever what you're saying about the administration not working to manipulate that intelligence. To me, that is the most logical explanation of how so many in the intelligence community got this so wrong about what was going to happen in Afghanistan. Why it would seem somehow logical for President Biden to leave the, quote, most advanced military weaponry, why some would not speak out against that if they were getting the false intelligence because it was coming from the top down to manipulate it. In my opinion, that's absolutely aid and comfort to the enemy. I absolutely wonder if you were complicit in this as well. I find it hard to believe that President Biden would do that without you being aware of this. And these are things that we deserve to know better answers, have better hearings on this. I do not believe a word that you're saying on this.
Simply put,
I do not wish to hear from you. I'm not
simply
yielding you a
put,
moment
Congressman,
of
what
time.
you've
I'm
said
not
is
yielding
dead
you a moment
wrong.
of time. I don't wish
There
to
is
hear your
no
lies.
manipulation
We've
of
heard your
intelligence,
lies when you step up
period.
in front of the camera.
Un informe de Fox News en 2021 destacó el alcance de la crisis que se desarrollaba en Afganistán cuando los talibanes tomaron el control de 75.000 vehículos estadounidenses, 200 aviones estadounidenses, 600.000 armas americanas y 85 billones de dólares en fondos militares. Hoy, los talibanes patrullan las calles de Kabul con armas estadounidenses. Ahora, ¿qué está pasando? Un alto republicano prometió pedir cuentas a la administración de Biden el lunes en medio de un nuevo informe de que las armas abandonadas a los talibanes, escuchen esto, durante la caótica retirada de Afganistán, habían llegado a otro conflicto. Las autoridades de Cachemira, controlada por la India, afirmaron que se ha visto a militares vinculados a Pakistán con M4 y M16 y otras armas americanas que rara vez se han visto antes del conflicto de décadas. El representante que ven en pantalla, un ex boina verde, dijo que era el resultado predecible de una caótica retirada del 2021. Los republicanos de la Cámara advirtieron que esto sucedería, pero no hubo supervisión ni investigación sobre la desastrosa retirada de Biden de Afganistán bajo Nancy Pelosi. Tenga la seguridad de que celebraremos audiencias y analizaremos las consecuencias de dejar atrás tanto equipo militar. El gobierno afgano, respaldado por Estados Unidos, tenía $7.000 millones en armas cuando colapsó en agosto del 2021. Los talibanes irrumpieron en la capital de Kabul, llenando el vacío dejado en las fuerzas de seguridad afganas, que simplemente se desvanecieron cuando las tropas estadounidenses se fueron. Al mismo tiempo, las fuerzas estadounidenses tuvieron que abandonar vehículos, helicópteros y existencias de sus propias armas, que dijeron que en su mayoría estaban inutilizables. Se cree que la mayoría terminó en manos de los talibanes, pero el representante del boina verde, esta persona, quien se espera que asuma el cargo de presidente del subcomité de preparación militar de la Cámara de Representantes, dijo el año pasado que los vínculos del grupo con la Agencia de Inteligencia de Pakistán significaba que las armas podrían transferirse a combatientes en otro objetivo pakistaní, que es Cachemira. La región ha sido disputada desde que India se dividió en la independencia en 1947 para crear un país separado de mayoría musulmana en la forma de Pakistán. Ambos bandos reclaman la región del Himalaya como propia y desde entonces ha sido el detonante de guerras, batallas y muchas cosas. Según los informes, las armas estadounidenses se han visto en manos de Jaish-e-Mohammed, movimiento yihadista vinculado a Pakistán que están designados como grupos terroristas por los Estados Unidos. El teniente coronel que ven en pantalla, portavoz del ejército indio en Srinagar, la capital de Cachemira, India, dijo que los dos grupos habían usado Afganistán para entrenamiento. Se puede suponer con seguridad que tienen acceso a estas armas dejadas atrás por el gobierno de Joe Biden. El año pasado, la policía local dijo que había incautado un rifle de carabina M4 después de un tiroteo con militares de este territorio. No es la primera vez que se ven armas estadounidenses en Cachemira. El año pasado, el Frente Antifascista de los Pueblos, que se cree que es una fachada de este grupo, publicó un video que mostraba a los miembros entrenados con un arsenal de nuevas armas norteamericanas. Entonces, señores,
the guy the Biden administration droned, was he an aid worker or an ISIS-K operative?
The administration is, of course, reviewing that strike, and I'm sure that a full assessment will be forthcoming.
So you don't know if it was an aid worker or an ISIS-K operative?
I can't speak to that, and I can't speak to that in this setting in any event.
So you don't know or won't tell us?
I don't know because we're reviewing it.
Well, see, you'd think you'd kind of know before you off somebody with a Predator drone, whether he's an aid worker or he's an ISIS-K. See, the thing is this isn't just you. It's been going on for administration after administration. The Obama administration droned hundreds and hundreds of people. And the thing is there is blowback to that. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I see these pictures of these beautiful children that were killed in the attack. If that's true, and not propaganda, if that's true, guess what? Maybe you created hundreds or thousands of new potential terrorists from bombing the wrong people. So you got to know we can't sort of have an investigation after we kill people. We have an investigation before we kill people. We've got plenty of bombs. We can bomb almost anything we want from anywhere in the world. Maybe we should have bombed the helicopters and the planes that we left behind. I mean, even though you said you didn't know any of this and it was all surprise, once they took all of our stuff, we should have said you got 20 minutes to get out of it because we're going to blow it all up. Then you would have sent a message of strength. Instead, we bombed somebody who we're not sure whether it was an aid worker or an ISIS-K operative. See, that's not sending a signal of strength. And in the end, there will be more blowback from it. If you killed an aid worker on accident, I mean, do you think we're better off because of that? You really could have acted in a position of strength, but you could have made the basic decision, the basic fundamental decision that really ruined the whole thing for you was a military decision to abandon Bagram Air Force Base before you left, before the Americans were out. Anybody can argue, and you may have a point that it happened more quickly than we thought it was going to happen. Okay, that's an honest mistake, still a huge mistake. And when people make mistakes in the military, they ought to be relieved of their post. But leaving Bagram Air Force Base, I think, is an unforgivable sort of mistake. It's going to be remembered in history. But if you do nothing about it, you leave all these people in place and say, oh, well, we all agreed. It's like, then maybe everybody needs to go. I mean, but really, it was a terrible mistake. But releasing money to the Taliban will add insult to injury. It'll be terrible for the memory of the 13 soldiers who died in the end, who were the final soldiers to die in this war, if you end up giving money to the people that, have been ruining the Middle East and Afghanistan for decades. I hope you won't release the money. And I think
the military capability of the Taliban regime and reach of our enemies. We will win this conflict by the patient accumulation of successes, by meeting a series of challenges with determination and will and purpose. Today we focus on Afghanistan, but the battle is broader. Every nation has a choice to make. In this conflict, there is no neutral ground. If any government sponsors the outlaws and killers of innocents, they have become outlaws and murderers themselves, and they will take that lonely path at their own peril. On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against Al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. These carefully targeted actions are designed to disrupt the use of Afghanistan as a terrorist base of operations and to attack the military capability of the Taliban regime.
Así comenzaba en octubre de 2001 la guerra en Afganistán.
Net op rechtsboven je line of sight, daar is dat steekje. Naar rechts nu. Ja.
Stab, Jaguar, we're receiving small arms fire at my position. How copy?
Roger that. Proceeding to your position.
Roger, unclear of where the rounds are coming from. Need your searchability. We have 2 personnel running, stand by for, you see the smoke in the valley?
Stand by looking. Yeah, we see the smoke of the building we engaged earlier. Oh, stand by. Yeah, I see
negative. North from that,
mile on the side.
East of the river or east of the Greenland.
Mile on the side. Swerving. Roger, visual. There's an impact.
Roger, you see our rounds impacting down in the village.
Affirm, we see your impacts.
Roger, there's an individual just on the other side of that building. Do you have a visual on that or a tally on that?
Affirm, turn around.
So you're clear to engage those personnel. How copy?
Rustig aan, maar rustig op. Copy, we're clear to engage. Stepping in. Step in.
That's from reporter drug inspect clearance on final.
Stepping in. Heading 120 with guns.
Cleared hot.
Cleared hot. Uitdraaien.
Good spot.